Nigel?
Yeah. We give them a day off on Monday, so they came in today and yeah, good spirits. You know, we're just trying to get a refocus back on this game. It's a very important game for us, obviously, and we just have to be mindful that we don't drop our guard. You know, Sale had a big loss on the weekend, and they don't want to bounce back at home. So you know, we've got to be very mindful of that. And but you know, we're very confident with the way we're going. We're playing some good rugby, lots of energy, lots of endeavour and spirit, and we've got to keep that going. And if we do that, we'll be very strong on Saturday afternoon now. Change.
Yeah, it's moving forward, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's taken a little bit of advantage away from other games would have been played, I suppose.
I'm fine with it actually, because if you just got one eye on somebody else, it just takes the focus off what you need to do, and what we need to do is get a result so that we can have a home semi-final. As simple as that. You know, we take all the scenarios away by doing that, and that's what we want. You know, we want a home semi-final here. I think we deserve that with the work we put in, but unless we're on top of our game on Saturday, we won't get that. So it's very important, and for me, I think it's a good thing, quite frankly.
It's a good incentive, isn't it? 'Cause there hasn't been that big.
No, there hasn't, you know, and a lot of these boys as professional rugby players haven't played in a big game like that, and you know, to win something as a professional rugby player is very hard these days when you look at the competition out there. So it's a huge opportunity for us.
One player who could be in the Sale side was Dwayne. He played against the Scarlets for the first time.
Yeah, it'd be good. You know, Dwayne was a fantastic server for us, and he's been great for Sale. He's a key player for them. And you know, the boys look forward to it, and I'm sure Dwayne was one as well.
Yeah, has he got something more from there today?
He has, very much so. You know, we've looked through a lot of the tapes of the games that he's played recently, and he is a key player for them, no doubt at all about it. He's very sharp, he's shrewd, he's very effective around the base of rucks, getting the ball away, and as I say, he's one of their most important players probably.
Two of them named in the breakthrough for an award this week, obviously, and Liam and Adam Warren.
Oh, right, okay.
For their performances in the LP.
Yeah, well deserved, I think. It's been a great tournament for us over the years, you know. We've thoroughly enjoyed it, and we've been unlucky in the past maybe not to get anything out of it. I think it's pretty obvious as well that a lot of the English clubs start to take it more serious in the second half of the tournament, where they can see there's an opportunity maybe. And they're not as affected as the Welsh regions in terms of international calls. So, but we put ourselves in a strong position, primarily on the back of having a stronger squad than we've had for a good few years.
First time I've seen you since the incident with Rhys Thomas. Is there any sort of update on that, or?
No, there's no update. You know, he's recovering, having undergone the surgery, which is quite significant. And as I said, I went to see him before the match, and he was conscious for a little while. He's being looked after, and he's just in the process of recovery now.
It must have been a pretty traumatic experience for yourself, you know, reaching the whole kind of community here as well.
Yes, you know, something like that is never pleasant, and particularly when it's somebody who's so young and so part of the team here and so full of energy. And you know, a lot of the players were a bit sort of taken aback by the events. But most importantly, it's about Rhys and his recovery now, and you know, the operations have been a success, and everybody is completely confident that he'll make a full recovery.
On the weekend about Nigel, is he someone that could be a real weapon for the remainder of the season as when the ground start getting a bit hard?
Yeah, we've always we've known about Ionia that given time and space, he's going to be very dangerous, and he had that on a couple of occasions on the weekend, and he showed exactly what he can do. So he's a huge threat, and you have to have people like that in your team, you know. As simple as that, he's such a potent threat in space that it's great to have him as part of the team. And as much as it was very hard fought, and lots of the games that we play in are very hard fought, but there's one or two moments in a game that make a difference, and when you've got a player of his quality on your side, it can often be the case.
Dan Newton kicked well as well, didn't he?
Dan Newton played very well all round as well. Very pleased with Dan's performance at 15, and his goal kicking has certainly improved a lot really from the last couple of years, and I think you can only get that from the pressure of playing in high level competition games and feeling that pressure and understanding what it's about and dealing with it, and you know, because of his exposure in the past, Dan is now able to do that.
You play on a Thursday next week, is there one eye on that?
We have to, you know, it's the games come thick and fast at the moment, and because we're still competing on all fronts, you have to keep an eye on the plan ahead. Not so much from a player's point of view, because you know, they just focus on the next game, but in terms of how we look at it, in terms of our recovery strategies, our training days, in terms of maybe selection as well, we have to look maybe 3 or 4 weeks ahead.
Looking at the Welsh setup, obviously Reece is a doubt for the Wales game. Stephen Jones looking like he could be pulling on that jersey again. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, they've obviously gone to Steve because he's a safe pair of hands. They know exactly what they're going to get with Steve should he be needed, and he's got a lot of experience, obviously, at that level of rugby. So you know, it's understandable why they've brought Steve in. Should Reece not be available?
And I think he's pretty much demonstrated the last few weeks for you guys that you know, he can still do it at the top level.
Yeah, he was fabulous out in Castres, in fairness to him. It's obviously a lot harder for Steve to get up for, you know, the run-of-the-mill games, but I think, you know, for those type of big games, you know, he's exceptional, and against Castres, I thought he really had a fantastic game for us.
And, one of the Ben Morgan, there's a lot of speculation as always around him in terms of England selection.
Yeah.
It looks like he could get a chance against Scotland.
Looks like that.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think he's ready for it and can have a major impact against Scotland?
Yeah, I mean, it's really interesting, this English side. You know, we're all looking at it and seeing what sort of team they're going to select, and it's quite exciting, really. And I can't remember saying that about an English selection before. So you just don't know. You know, you just don't know what style of play they're going to bring. You don't know a lot of the players who are going to play. So it is very, very exciting. What Ben is a very, very effective ball carrier, and you know, there's a place for Ben in any team. And yeah, is he ready for international rugby? I think so, yeah.
So it's safe to say you'd be picking him if you were an international coach this weekend?
Well, depending on what my options were, yeah. But he'd certainly be in the mix. But I am genuinely excited about what England are going to bring this Six Nations. And of course, I think that's a real key game that up in Scotland away, because again, you look at the Scottish team, and for the last 3 or 4 years, they've promised a lot in terms of their potential, in terms of the quality of the players they've got, and haven't delivered. So I'm hoping that they can put in some big performances this year as well.